I would like to tell you about the PopCatcher, a Swedish company that started its business in 2000s and introduced a PopCatcher in-tempo rebel radio, FM radio that was able to extract music from the live broadcast and save the songs as a separate MP3 files on a memory sticker, USB sticker, or a memory card. And I would like to tell you a little bit more about the technology, because they've never explained about this technology. So I would like to tell you about how this technology really worked. This is taken from the original presentation of PopCatcher company. So that's the official story how it all began. As you can see, Richard Ribblom was driving a car, and there was a song that he wanted to listen again. So he wanted to record this song as he was driving, but obviously he couldn't do it. His hands were busy, and also it wasn't very easy to catch the song, to spot the song to record it fully. So he wanted to have an automatic system that would store the most popular songs that were played on radio station. And that was the whole idea behind the PopCatcher idea. Richard Ribblom and Jakob Ribblom founded the PopCatcher AB company in year 2000, and then they started to work on a software, on a technology, on the algorithm that would allow these songs to be extracted from the live broadcast. And they had two patents around the world that this technology, they demonstrated how this technology would work in this patents. They were quite right to decide that probably the best market, the market is going to develop most in how the music will be listened in the future, would be the mobile phones, and they addressed this quite early. This is a news from year 2003, so 3 years after the company was founded, and here you can see that they were already working with a Hong Kong company, AWG, the manufacturer of the mobile phones, to incorporate this algorithm, this software that they developed in the mobile phones. Mobile phones at that time had an FM radios. There wasn't enough of fast internet. Most of the internet at that time in the year 2003 was still in the technology 3G. It was probably enough to stream audio, although the coverage and the cost of internet in 20 years ago was very high. So nobody was really streaming music at that time. And here we can see how the market has changed. Here is the year 2000. You can see that the most people were using CDs to listen to the radio, probably also on the go, with portable Discmans, disc players that you could take with you. Then, since 2005, the download music, so MP3 players and MP3 files started to get more attention, and this was the idea behind the PopCatcher company, to have more and more MP3 files. So they were expecting these MP3 files to gain more and more attention and popularity. And they're quite right, because in about 2012, 2013, here you can see that downloaded music, so MP3 files, digital music, was the most popular one. It was just sort of like probably above the CD that was going away. And then since 2015, you can see really how the streaming, as the internet was getting cheaper, more available, the coverage of the fast internet was increasing, how the streaming of the music took over, and right now the streaming is the most popular format that is being used on the go. Most people listen to the music on the mobile phones. 63% of teenagers in UK use mobile phone to listen to the music. 30%, 36%, 30%, so 1/3 is still using a radio to listen to the music. Only 22 right now percent, so 1 in 5 teenagers uses MP3 files or MP3 player really to separate MP3 device to listen to those music. So that's how the market looks like at the moment. The new music is mostly discovered through music apps, through the streaming platforms that recommend new music. Radio and satellite is still the same. It's still sort of like when you want to listen to know what is happening right now on the music market. What are the new songs? You still probably turn to good old radio, and then there is everything else. Radios do play music on a sort of like on a loop. They have commercial radio stations. They have closed playlists, probably about 40-50 songs that they play over and over again. So the radio songs on the commercial, so the songs on the commercial radio stations are being repeated every so often. This is the reason that sort of like is behind the business model of the radio. The radio really gets money from the advertisers. The more listeners, the more advertisers are coming to the radio, the more are paid, the more revenue is being paid to the radio from the advertisers, and that's why they want to play popular songs that will attract listeners. How does it work? Music. How does it work? Who decides about which music is being played? Well, the easy way is to say which songs are currently the most popular, and they will go into this top 40 that the radio station will play. Or there is a music director that basically will create this playlist and decides how often these songs are being played. So we know that the radio station plays music over and over again, and we would like to catch this top 40 songs automatically. We would like to extract this from the DJ talk, from news, from jingles, from any adverts that are being played between the songs. We would like to reject everything apart from the new music that is on the offer. And this is exactly what PopCatcher has developed. And how does it work? How this technology works? This will be original pictures from the patent document, from the document that they created for the that explain about the technology. So this is how the typical broadcast, so like raw material that the station broadcast looks like. Okay, there's a little bit of a talk, then the DJ is talking over the music, over the beginning of the song, then there is music only, then the DJ starts to talk as the music goes, or as the song ends, and then there is talk again. There may be some also commercials, there may be some sort of like adverts in between. That's how it looks like. PopCatcher, so this software or this device that includes PopCatcher software, will continuously record the broadcast. So it will continuously, it has a buffer, it continuously sort of like records what's on the radio. Then we have to decide which songs, which parts of the broadcast we want to record, we want to extract. And this is done by so-called search key. The search key can be, in the original description of the idea, the search key could be triggered by the user. So basically there would be like a button, and you push the button when you hear a music you want to record, and then the software will look for this music, for this song again in the future during the broadcast. Or it can be automated. So basically every song that is being repeated is converted into the search key. So the repeated fragments of the broadcast are being sort of like stored as the search key. So the PopCatcher will compare a longer recording of the broadcast, and will try to find fragments that are repeating over and over again, and that would be the search key for the technology. Searching for the song. Well, exactly. So here we have the search key. You will have a fragment of the song that is characteristic for the song, and then during the broadcast the PopCatcher will find when this music is played again, and it will start recording the song. So here it is, recognition of the song based on the fragment that is being known. So it is fragment that is repeating over the time. And here you can see the same song, but with slightly different kind of pattern. You can see the music only here is the middle part of the song. At the beginning there is variable time of the song with the DJ talking over it. Here it's a little bit more at the beginning of the song, a little bit less at the end. Here is a little bit more at the end, a little bit less at the beginning. By combining these two recordings, so the PopCatcher will record several instances of the same song, and then by combining this it will tries to recreate as much of the original song as possible. With the PopCatcher technology there is usually beginning and the end of the song missing, unless there is very little talking over this parts of the song. And here it is, exactly what I just said. This iteration of the process, they call it iteration. So basically, several recordings of the song that are made in the PopCatcher memory, in the device memory, are being combined into one file, and then is recorded as a final song. And it all happens automatically. It all happens in the background. The user doesn't have to do anything about it. As you can see, there is a buffer memory, and it's 24 hours. So basically, the PopCatcher will create something that is called a search track. A search track is a recorded file containing 24 hours of the broadcast recording. It may sound like a very large file, but actually it is not, because what they do not record everything. They only record a certain features of the broadcast, certain key elements of the broadcast, and that allows to limit the file, the search track size. So first of all, it is being normalized. So in order to compare different parts of the broadcast, the recording needs to have the same volume, the same characteristic of the frequencies. And then they will only record in the search track only a certain parts of only certain frequencies. The PopCatcher suggested that probably the best is to record frequencies, low frequencies for the drums, something like a 30-31 hertz, so really low frequencies, and then a high frequencies representing guitar solos, so something like 13 kilohertz. So they will only try to record this low and high frequencies, and this is what is contained in the search track, and this is what is being compared then over 24 hours. These features. So automatically, all the talk, our human voice has a frequency of around 300 to 3000 hertz. So voice is going to be automatically kind of excluded and not being even compared by PopCatcher. It's only a features that are typical for a popular music. And then they would reduce a sample rate. As you can see here, it's a 32 kilohertz sample rate, so that's quite low sample rate comparing to the typical MP3 files, and that allows to have about 1 megabyte per minute of the file size. That's not that bad. And here you can see a bandwidth of the music track, of the original kind of music track, and here is a search track that has a much smaller bandwidth. The search track can be compressed on top of that, and here we can go as low as 4 megabytes per day. It is amazingly small small size for containing the whole day of a broadcast in just one file. So here it is, a search track. And then we remove the parts that are not so interesting. And that's basically how the PopCatcher technology works. They created based on that technology a device. In Sweden it was it was Sweden, Switzerland and Germany around 2007, I think 2006, 2007, it was introduced to the market. It was called MD601, Music Dock MD601, and basically it allowed to put a USB stick here on top. There is a socket here on top of this device. You could put a USB stick, leave it for 24 hours, and after 24 hours you should have 40 songs that are most played on the station. Then PopCatcher decided to design a device, because initially they wanted to design only the algorithm, only the software, and their idea was to sell the software to the companies, but they've noticed that the companies really are struggling to incorporate this into their devices, so they decided to build their own device. And the MD601 was the first one, but then they teamed up with the analog devices, and they used the Blackfin 531 processor. It is 400 megahertz processor that is typically used for audio and video processing. So they could, by that way, they could use some filtering, all this normalization of search track, creating a limited bandwidth, creating a limited sampling, and then very quickly processing this information on the search track. They could do using this Blackfin processor. The software running on the Blackfin processor was Linux based. So again, that is a specialized processor for audio and video video used. And that's how the PopCatcher Reaper was delivered to the market, having this Blackfin processor inside. It was first introduced to the local market in Sweden. It was called the Reaper. It saved 40 MP3 files after listening to the radio continuously for 24 hours. The quality of the file was of the MP3 files was 192 kilobits per second, so not too bad. And then exactly the same device was introduced to the market outside of the Sweden as Intempo Rebel, and many awards were given both by the algorithm and for the device itself over the years. So it was a very successful company around 2007, 2008, 2009, topping really the conferences and having lots of attention. Then after introducing the Intempo Rebel, the popularity has slowly vanished. These are the main people behind the PopCatcher company. The Ricard and Jakob brothers were the main founders. I think Joachim Vedin was the main person who actually transferred the idea into the digital algorithm. Was able to write basically an algorithm that then could be run on various devices. After 2008, they still hoped that they will introduce a software and they could market this further, but the company really sort of like popularity vanished in the over the time. There was, I think, an Android app at some point, but I don't think it gained any wider popularity, any wider use. And right now, the PopCatcher software or algorithm is no longer available in currently manufactured devices or anywhere in the app stores. And the main reason why we talk about PopCatcher technology is the fact that I managed to find a brand new old stock, as we call it, an Intempo Rebel, boxed, never used. This is a boxed device that has been never taken out. It's sitting over there, and I'm going to test it. I'm going to put it through the test in the next movie, and we'll see whether it does its job, whether it's able to currently in 2023 extract 40 most played songs on the current radio broadcast, and still can be a source of free MP3 music, popular songs from the FM stations. We're going to sort of like test it, and then we'll see how does it work.